the Citadel. And that means All-American candidate and Butkus Award nominee Keith Adams is ready to continue his assault on defense. Oh, these Tigers are full of energy, high octane on offense, with Travis Zachary running and Woody Dantzler scrambling and passing. It's the second season of the Tommy Bowden era. The Tigers appear solid as a rock. From Clemson, South Carolina, it's the season opener for the 17th ranked Tigers as they take on the Citadel Bulldogs for the first time since 1986. Hi everybody, I'm Doug Bell and welcome to Death Valley on a hot and humid afternoon, but even these warm temperatures hasn't dampened the enthusiasm of the Clemson faithful expecting big things in the year 2000. Some are even talking national championship, but let's don't get ahead of ourselves. My partner this season on College Sports Southeast, former Clemson head coach Hootie Ingram, and Coach, we all know about season openers. Everybody expecting a big blowout today, but we saw Penn State at home today and their home opener lose to Toledo, so anything can happen.
Well, that's true, Doug. First games are a nightmare. Coaches worry about them. The players are just coming off two-a-day practices. They're still sore. The 25-second clock clicks, and so much has to go into it with your substitutions, your kicking game. So even though you're playing a team you're supposed to beat, you got to be ready to play.
The Citadel is a young football team, but one of their veterans is a senior, Denny Haywood, on defense, and we'll call his name a lot today. He's a very good player.
Haywood's a great linebacker. He led the team in tackling his sophomore year and his junior year, and this year, his senior year. He's the quarterback of that defense. He's very active and really an outstanding football player.
And speaking of outstanding football players, how about Keith Adams, the All-American linebacker for Clemson? He might be the best linebacker in the country.
Well, another great linebacker, and I tell you what, Keith kind of reminds me of Thomas, Derek Thomas, that played with Kansas City and Alabama. He can come from the corner, and he changes the entire blocking scheme when he's coming.
Well, they run the flex bone, speaking of the Citadel, and that will give Mr. Adams an opportunity for a lot of tackles this afternoon. We'll be back with the opening kick from Death Valley right after this. It's Clemson and the Citadel next on College Sports Southeast. Moments ago, the Clemson Tigers, in one of the most impressive displays in all of college sports, running down the hill, touching the rock, and getting the folks here at Death Valley very fired up, Coach. Tommy Bowden getting ready for his second season. Don Powers, his 5th year as head coach of the Citadel. His 12th year at the school. He was their longtime defensive coordinator. Every year they play a 1A opponent, and lately they've been taking it on the chin. Vanderbilt beat them a year ago 58-0, Coach, but at least it's the first game. They haven't had a chance to get a lot of players injured.
Well, that's true. Of course, Clemson won a toss and deferred, and Citadel will receive and get in. But it's the first game and a lot of different things, and this we'll get a first look at this Citadel offense.
Jamie Somani will kick off for Clemson, and deep for the Citadel, Jay Ingram and Dendrick Gamble. And there's Somani. For a kicker, this kid is very impressive in the weight room. Bench presses 430 pounds. Normally your kicker is not that strong, not that much of an athlete. Jamie is certainly a heck of an athlete. There's the pooch kick right down the middle of the field. And the Citadel pounces on it at the 31-yard line.
The ball fell off the tee as he was kicking. It wasn't an intentional pooch kick. The ball fell off the tee as he was hitting.
Here's the starting lineups. The offensive line for the Citadel: Dawson, White, Guess, Pitts, and Nesbitt. A very small offensive line. They average about 260 pounds. Very light, especially playing a 1A school like Clemson. Here comes that flexbone offense. Joe Call is the quarterback for the Citadel, wearing their white road uniforms with those powder blue helmets and stripes. And a handoff to Maurice Murphy right up the middle, and he's stacked up a host of Clemson Tigers in there, including Terry Bryant, big number 93, the senior from Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah, Clemson came up with 8 men up front that time, Doug. They planned to run all the way at that option, and took the first option heading to the I-back.
Joe Call, a sophomore, did start 5 games a year ago for the Citadel. They had a 2-9 season in '99. See that flex bone, lots of motion, quick pitches, and going nowhere is Nate Mahoney. And leading the charge is Terry Jolly, big number 92, and Charles Hafley was in there as well.
Well, his speed of...
Coach, let's get the lineups out of the way. The backs and receivers, Mahoney, Murphy, Gamble, Hollingsworth, and Johnson, the tight end. Johnson, a talented tight end. And for Clemson up front, Eason, Jolly, Holloman, and Bryant. We've already seen Bryant very active. Great linebackers led by Keith Adams.
Yeah, Holloman went out on that last play.
3rd down and 6, and there's a first down. The completed pass to Matt Healy. Called a Healy, and it's a first down the Citadel. Chad Carson on the stop, but not before the first down.
Yeah, on the previous play, Doug, Jason Holloman went out limping, looked like an ankle injury, and I think Jovan Bush is in there in his place.
Matt Healy goes wide right, very wide. And we'll get another look at this flex bone offense. You see a man always in motion, and the handoff to the fullback, Maurice Murphy. Goes forward for a nice gain. Chad Carson kind of falls on top of him. Keith Adams got him down around the ankle.
2 yards on the play. The stop made by number 95, Jovan Bush.
It's 2nd down and 8 from the 47-yard line.
Citadel likes play-action passes in this situation, Doug. Clemson's got a lot of people on the line of scrimmage playing man-to-man out on the wide receiver.
Here you see Nate Mahoney, number 32, and that's Stan Hollingsworth in motion. And Mahoney gets the handoff, breaks the initial tackle by Terry Bryant, and then brought down after a gain of 2 yards.
3rd and long. See what Citadel's going to do on 3rd and long. That's the thing. If they stick with the option, or they're going to try to throw the ball a little bit.
It's 3rd down and 7. The temperature's cooled off considerably from a couple hours ago. The sun has gone behind the clouds. It's very pleasant right now. And the crowd turns up the volume. Joe Call fakes the pitch, looking to pass. Incomplete.
Great coverage there.
Bodrick was all over Jason Barley, covering him very close.
Yeah, Clemson had in equivalent to their nickel defense, and Bodrick came in and playing the tight end man-to-man across the field. Good coverage. Zach really handled punts all last year, and he's a very sure-handed punt returner.
Zobel is the punter for the Citadel, and he boots it away to Travis, who fields it at the 12-yard line, looking for some blocks. Cuts back and brought down just past the 20-yard line, and that's where the Clemson Tigers will start their opening drive of the 2000 season.
There's a 38-yard punt and about a 9-yard return, and Clemson's got the ball back in the 20.
There's the offensive line up front for the Clemson Tigers. Jermaine Chester gets the start today. And we'll look for him. There's Woodrow Danzler, the junior from Orangeburg, South Carolina. Coach, we saw him in the spring, and he really looked sharp this spring.
He's got a lot of poise back there, Doug, and he's a good runner as well as thrower, but his throwing is his first priority, like it should be.
Travis Zachary lines up right next to the quarterback out of that shotgun formation. And the handoff. Zachary, big gaping hole, breaks free. Travis Zachary brought down at the 27-yard line.
Well, he cut it back against the grain right off the bat, and number 20 for the Citadel, Kevin Howard, caught him from the backside. He's their cornerback with great speed.
53-yard gain. First and 10 at the 27. There goes Travis. A gaping hole. Danzler same play. Rambert cuts it back to the right side.
The same play as a counter draw with Rampart in a little quicker, and he breaks it back to the right side. And that shows you the respect Citadel's got for the passing game when the first two plays you run draw plays and they work.
For Zachary, that 52-yard run, it's now officially 52 yards, the longest of his career. And Rambert's still in there, giving Zachary a chance to catch his breath after that long run, and the same play. 3 straight times. Big hole. This time Rambert cuts it back to the left side. Gets down to the 7-yard line. Jeff Johnson trips him up. The junior out of Marietta, Georgia, the big defensive end for the Citadel.
Clemson staying in a no huddle. They're going out of the center this time. 2nd and 3 or 4.
Terry Witherspoon in there at fullback. On this goal line situation, they bring in the big hammer at fullback, the 265-pounder. Check out him. Block. Big block. Touchdown, Clemson, Bernard Rambert.
That's 2 tight end offense and the quarterback on the center with 2 backs. And big fullback Witherspoon makes a key block, and Rambert cuts it back in for the touchdown.
Witherspoon comes in there, and he's just looking to blow up somebody with a block, isn't he?
That's true. And, of course, the 2 tight ends, and up front, the Citadel's not strong enough to have that kind of pressure inside the goal line there.
Aaron Hunt, the true freshman from Oak Ridge, Tennessee, on for the extra point. And it's good. It's 7-0. You know, Hunt is the first freshman to start the opening game at Clemson since Anthony Simmons back in '95.
And I know that makes him feel good to hit that first one, Doug. A freshman a few months ago, he was kicking in high school over in Knoxville, Tennessee, and 75,000 here, and he put it right through the middle. And I know he feels good.
Hey, check out the block, Coach. Witherspoon on Denny Haywood, who we talked about off the top. Right. Look, wow.
Yeah, he picks up the linebacker, and he cuts off, Rembert cuts right off him into the end zone and somewhat untouched.
Witherspoon is really a specimen at 5'11", 265 pounds, a workout guy. A guy who really loves the weight room, and the NFL scouts certainly looking at him. He almost turned pro, but decided to come back for his 5th season. So Tommy Bowden liked that drive. No passes, all running plays.
That was a good drive, and then, like I say, when you got to respect a great pass offense when you run 3 draw plays in a row. First 3 plays of the year. Samaria, I hope the ball stays on the tee this time so he can get him a good kick.
What do you think about Somani? Now here's a kid, bench presses 430, power cleans 300. I mean, he's a kicker. They're not supposed to be that strong, are they, Coach?
Well, not really. Most kickers are a little unusual. They're kind of sitting over in the corner while they lift weights. All of them I've seen that way. We got a.
Well, you saw the numbers on that drive, Coach. 4 plays, 79 yards. The big play, that 52-yard run by Travis Zachary. It's going to make Tommy's job pretty easy today if they just have to run the football.
Well, it's something that we knew Zachary did most of the playing last year, but Rambert coming in spelling Zachary, that's a good 1-2 combination. In today's football game, you can't get by with one running back. And having 2 like this is a big plus. Here's a kickoff.
There's the kick. A short kick, bounces at the 17 and brought up to the 27-yard line, and that's where the Citadel will start their 2nd drive. We'll be back to Death Valley right after this. Information on Clemson athletics, remember ClemsonTiger.com. 1st and 10 from the 28, the Citadel, and Joe Call goes nowhere. Brought down by Rodney Thomas. Nice play by the 2nd-year man from Caldwell, Georgia.
Thomas is in there coming inside out on the quarterback that he keeps, and then they play in the option just picture perfect and showing a lot of speed. They really stop at the inside plays, and they're running to stop the outside plays. The defensive speed is really showing off.
It's not good when the quarterback is getting a dirty uniform just a few minutes into the first quarter, but Joe Call has already taken some pops. And Hollingsworth in motion, they hand off to the fullback. Solid play by Terry Bryant up front, who's been very, very active. Here's wearing number 93.
Yeah, the defense is pursuing so much. Citadel's coming back running a counter play, but the right defensive side stayed at home, and again, the no gainer.
The Citadel offensive line, very undersized. Starting right guard Chad Pitts, only 240 pounds.
Jovan Bush has made a couple of good plays in there. I don't think he started, but I believe he came in there when Holloman hurt his ankle.
3rd down and 14, passing situation. Joe Call avoids the blitz and throws it out of bounds. That was the All-American Keith Adams. Was hassling him all the way. That Reggie Herring defense, the blitzkrieg, forced call to throw it out of bounds.
Yeah, it was excellent coverage by Darryl Crutchfield on the wide receiver, and the quarterback, who was pressured anyhow, threw the ball away. The new intentional grounding rule, he can throw it away when he's out of the pocket this year, and that might have been a grounding call last year.
Travis Zachary back to field this punt. The second punt by Travis Zobel. And he shanks it off the side of his foot. And the Citadel will down the football. They actually touched it around the 48-yard line.
Yeah, there was a touch on the 48-yard line, but the officials didn't notice it. And, yeah, I think one came in later and picked it up.
Yep, the line judge came in.
Yes. Yeah, he threw the beanbag, the line judge.
Well, there's a good look at Tommy Bowden in his 2nd season, the man who jogs every day, 10 miles a day.
Yeah, Tommy's getting a little gray-headed there, though,
yeah,
Doug. I don't
sure
know.
Is.
That running must be getting to him.
Even talks Rich Rodriguez, his offensive coordinator, into jogging with him. Reggie Herring, a little smarter than that, the defensive coordinator. He says he wants no part of that. And Woodrow Dantzler keeps it himself on the right side. Nice game by Woody up to the 45-yard line. Kevin Howard comes up to make the stop with a strong safety spot.
I believe, Doug, that was the option out of the wishbone, and the Citadel defensive end came up and took the pitch away, and Woody keeps the ball and runs inside.
Citadel with 3 down linemen. Spread out. Hard to see the quickness factor. Big difference between Clemson and the Citadel. Handoff to Travis Zachary. Gets close to that 1st down. Travis Stevens kind of clocks things up there in the middle for the Bulldogs. Very close to the 1st down.
I believe it's 3rd and short.
3rd and about a half yard. We'll say 3rd down and just inches.
There's a tight end in the game now. I believe, is that LeMay?
Jason LeMay's in there, yep. That was Brian Smith trying to get a shoe on. And Woodrow Dantzler keeps it himself for another Clemson 1st down. Dantzler, the junior, learned this new Bowden offense a year ago, got better as the season progressed, had a huge game against Maryland, and really seems comfortable now in this Bowden Rodriguez offense. And his first pass, complete to the outside, and a 1st down to the 29-yard line. Jackie Robinson. Kevin Gauss brings him down.
Yeah, Robinson's in here and gets the slip screen outside, and you got 2 blockers out in front of him, and he cuts back inside and breaks a couple of tackles there. Robinson can run with the ball after he catches it.
That was the Orangeburg-Wilkinson High School connection. Dantzler to Robinson. And Zachary takes the pitch over the right side. Gains 3. Stacked up by Larry Schreiber, freshman. The Citadel, they're a pesky bunch, but Schreiber, who made that tackle, only 220 pounds, very undersized. And Clemson will continue just to bang at him time and time again. And the no-huddle continues. Dantzler with a pump fake, run outside of bounds.
Defensively, Doug, Citadel has 3 down linemen in the game. Clemson comes in with a tight end. That's a big mismatch. I think you're going to see some power running in this situation if they keep this 3-down lineman in there.
Already the Citadel players, many of them are bent over at the waist and winded. This no-huddle offense really tires out a defense quickly. Dantzler wide open, Travis Zachary. Touchdown, Clemson.
Citadel was in a zone coverage that time, and with 3 wide receivers, a deep cover didn't know which one to cover, and he chose the wrong one.
26-yard touchdown strike. Dantzler to Zachary out of the backfield.
I tell you, it's a great touch on the pass, Doug. It was one of those deals where he had to lay it over the cornerback and get it there before the safety could get there. And it's a real good touch pass.
Aaron Hunt makes it 14-0 Tigers.
Well, Aaron Hunt will be leading the ACC in scoring from the freshman standpoint, huh? Leading ACC freshman scorer.
Still 6:13 to play first quarter. It's 14-0 Tigers. And the Citadel Bulldogs defense already looks whipped, Coach.
Well, they do. It's a tough situation when you.
We'll talk more about that right after this. Tigers on top. College Sports Southeast Friday nights at 6:30, special 1-hour edition previewing Saturday's action with Gene Stallings, former national championship head coach of the Crimson Tide, on hand to preview the weekend's action every Friday on College Sports Southeast. Tony Lazzara on to boot it away. Kenyon Doyle, number 28 deep for the Citadel, along with Dendrick Gamble.
But Doug, Tony's had tough luck. The first ball blew off the tee, and the second kick, he kicked the tee before he hit the ball, and the tee went further than the ball, so maybe he's settled down now and get some of that weight room strength behind this kick. That's a better kick.
Much better kick.
Good height.
Fielded at the 3 by Doyle. Broke a tackle and worked his way up to the 22-yard line. And the Bulldogs will start their third drive of the afternoon.
Well, I almost got him inside the 20. That's the goal of the special teams kickoff team, to try to get the receiving team to stay inside the 20. And they came close to doing that on that kick.
Well, here come the Bulldogs, and they will not huddle up either. They come from the sidelines, and they're ready to play. Again, Joe Call, the sophomore, their quarterback from Somerville, South Carolina. Maurice Murphy lines up right behind him. And the handoff to Murphy. Chipped up at the line of scrimmage.
Number 33, Maurice Murphy. Stop made by number 48, Braxton K. Williams.
Braxton K. Williams on the stop for the Tigers.
Pick up of 4 yards on the play. 2nd and 6 at the 26.
Williams, the strong side linebacker, lines up over that tight end. Matt Healy goes wide right for the Bulldogs. They run this flexbone offense. 2nd down and 7. And you better hurry. Adams with the pressure, completed pass to Murphy on the outside. Short of the first down. Charles Hayfley on the stop.
Well, they were throwing to the flat. Good, well, covers out there, but we just didn't go for the football, and I think that rush made the pass throw a little high, and he ended up being a short pass, and he came back to get it. But had excellent coverage, he just didn't go for the ball.
3rd down and 2. And the handoff to Murphy. And he's short of the first down. Oh, it's a fumble. You're right, Coach. And a turnover. Tigers pounce on it. Gary Childerson there, big number 99.
Well, it's tough going inside. 99's on the center. He slanted away, and the lick was by 46.
Chad Carson.
Big Chad Carson. He penetrated the 3 gap and caused the fumble.
So the Tigers in business again from the 31-yard line. 3 wide to the left. Ansler with a fake, goes right. And gets close to first down. A flag comes in late on the play. Usually in the area of holding. And that's the call against the Tigers.
Had to be the tight end or a lineman pulling. It was called by the back judge who watches that area.
First flag of the afternoon.
Holding on the spot foul, 10 yards.
That's Joseph Ryder, our head referee and ACC crew working today's game. The Citadel, member of the Southern Conference. First down and 10, 4:29 to play, first quarter.
First and 16 for the Tigers.
First and 16, excuse me. Danzler all by himself in the backfield. Looking with time. Fires to the outside. To Rod Gardner. And he gets a first down.
Well, he was looking downfield and he got a little safety valve over there to Rod, and he was just kind of hanging around over there, and Woody, having full control of the field, laid it out to him.
Terry Witherspoon checks in for the Tigers. He has to hustle in there. You make a substitution, you got to hurry. Tigers. And Zachary falls forward for a gain of 3. Matt Bailey in there for the Tigers right now.
Stop made by number 90, Jeff Johnson. A gain of 2 yards.
You change personnel, usually it's 2 players at a time, Coach. 2 new receivers come in.
Citadel has kept the same level now. Just either 2 tight ends or 4 wide receivers. That's a tough work.
Hands on that draw play. We'll see that a lot this season. Woodrow gets stopped short of the first down.
On the quarterback keeper.
The beauty of that play,
number 55,
it's hard to rush
Tigers.
a guy that's standing back there 7, 8 yards and read the rush and pick his hole to run in, and Woody's made a lot of good choices.
Watts, Robinson, and Bailey. The 3 on the left side. Play action fake to Zachary. Wide open. Touchdown. Jackie Robinson. The Tigers score again.
Oh, my goodness.
And there's a flag down back at the 21. Personal foul.
Roughing the passer.
Roughing the passer.
Go have a look at it again. You'll see faking the draw and then going back to the weak side, and Robinson cutting across and got a real good block from the wide receiver on that side. I believe it was Gardner.
14-yard touchdown grab by Jackie Robinson. And that penalty will be assessed right now. Yeah,
right now. It gives you an opportunity. If you were in a tight ball game, you know, you could go for 2 now. You're a little bit closer. But obviously Clemson will go ahead and kick the point this time.
And Tony Lazera now comes on to try the extra point. Aaron Hunt kicked the first 2.
Good timing. Good snap.
And it's good. 21-0 the score. Well, so far it has been all Clemson Tigers. Still 3:06 to play, and they're already up 21-0. The new stand for the Rock in the newly refurbished end zone. Jeff Davis on hand. Great linebacker from the 81 National Championship team. There's Mrs. Howard and Frank's son. Kind of a special time when they debuted that. And the boot into the end zone. And the Citadel will start from the 20-yard line. And remember, for Clemson tickets, call 1-800-CLEMSON. Pretty easy. Still a few tickets available. 7 home games this season for the Tigers, a very attractive schedule. And many think that the Tigers will be undefeated when they go down to Tallahassee.
That's a long time away.
That's a long way away, isn't it? Bowden Bowl Part 2. And a year ago, Tommy and Clemson played Florida State tougher than anybody. There's another drive, 5 plays, 31 yards. Joe Call still at quarterback. Almost stumbles and then goes down. Terry Bryant is just too big and too quick for the young offensive line of the Bulldogs.
One of the things that Rodney is doing with his defense is what we call the 1 gap and the 3 gap between the center and the guard and the tackle. They're penetrating and giving the quarterback a little trouble. You notice several times they grabbed hold of the quarterback's ankle before he started the option. And that's a key way to stop options in modern day football. Stop it from the inside early.
All back to pass. And he has an open receiver, Nate Mahoney. Brought down by Chad Carson from behind. That's Maurice Murphy.
Tackle made by number 46, Chad Carson.
It's a play-action pass that Citadel likes to throw. And he laid it over the head, but that shows you the speed of the Clemson linebackers, which I think is the hallmark of their defense. All their linebackers can run. And even though the pass was completed, it was not near enough for a first down. 3rd and long again.
3rd down and 8. That's Mahoney breaking in motion on the outside. And it's almost intercepted. Eric Meekins in and out of his hands.
Great play going to the ball by Meekins.
Flag down back at the 13, Coach.
Probably another roughing the passer. I didn't see the end of the play. I was watching Meekins break on the ball. But looks like he hit the quarterback.
Personal foul, roughing the passer on the defense, 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Well, you have to protect the quarterback. You don't want to get somebody hurt, and they are coming at him hard, and that was a hit after he released the pass.
Yeah, actually, I don't know who the play was on, but Brian McNeil was back there early. He broke the line of scrimmage. No one touched him, so the quarterback was rushed from the outset. But it was 3 or 4 of them back there. It's about as good a field position as Citadel's had, rather than the opening possession.
1st down and 10 from the 37. Stan Hollingsworth in motion. There's the handoff to Nate Mahoney, who gets stacked up and thrown for a loss. Who else? Terry Bryant is in there.
Great pursuit by the defense. And the one thing that is really frustrating for Citadel, I'm sure, the wide receiver is just man-to-man by the Clemson cornerbacks. And they can't throw to him, so he's no threat at all. And this allows not having to worry about underneath coverage.
Can't emphasize enough the small size of this Bulldogs offensive line, and young and experienced too. There's a handoff by Maurice Murphy. That time that young line got a good push up front, little misdirection. Threw off the over-pursuing Clemson defense.
Yeah, counterplay, over pursuit by the defense, and this is something you gotta do against a team that pursues like Clemson does. They run out real quick.
3rd down and 1.
Big play right here.
Crowd gets loud.
There's motion by the offense.
Yep, that's illegal motion.
Yep. That'll make it about 3rd and 6 now.
That would have been okay in the Canadian Football League. You can have 2 guys going in motion in the CFL.
Yeah, the tailback went in motion and the wingback came too. So it's one of those early first game very impressed that Clemson offensively have been very sharp. They're getting off on the ball on time. Nobody moving too quick. Less than assignments. Yes, it is.
We have the only goal on the offense. We're going to check and see if it's before we miss the penalty.
They're going to check the measurement before they assess the penalty.
Yeah, they're going to step off.
See how close it is, yeah.
It's either 4th and a foot or 3rd and 6.
And Clemson will decline. And that'll bring on the punting unit for the Bulldogs. New return man for Clemson. Zachary gets a rest. Joe Don Reams. Nearby Seneca High School, just down the road a few miles.
Number 16, Joe Don Reed, back for the Tigers.
And Travis Zobel again punts for the Bulldogs. Again, a great punt off the side of his foot, but it takes a nice bounce. Reams fields it at the 7, a dangerous play, and then gets creamed. Paul Burry leading the charge for the Citadel. Good look at Death Valley here at Clemson, and the folks have lots to cheer about. Tigers on top, 21-0. And you can watch Clemson football replay Sunday nights at 8 o'clock, Thursday nights at 7. It's Clemson Tiger football on College Sports Southeast. Doug Bell alongside former Clemson head football coach Hootie Ingram. And coach, there's no way the Citadel can duplicate the speed they're seeing and that no-huddle offense. I mean, it's almost unfair for these kids to come out here because they're not ready for this.
That's true. It's very difficult for the defense to substitute when a team offensively goes no huddle. Whereas Clemson can scoot a tight end out and bring a receiver out, and they can go from a tight end 3 wide out, or they can go to a 2 tight end and 2 wide outs, and the Citadel personnel stay.
Woodrow Dantzler back at quarterback. Travis Zachary lines up right next to him. Ball's on the 8-yard line. Dantzler from his own end zone gets, almost brought down for a safety, but wiggles out of it and works his way up to the 17-yard line.
Well, that shows you the strength that Woodrow has. He's strong, kept his legs moving. They had him about a yard deep, and he comes out and almost makes first down.
9-yard pickup. Terry Witherspoon hustles in there.
Here's a case where they got power in there, and Citadel's only got 3.
On the stop.
Yeah, that was another case there, Doug, where Clemson got a tight end in, and Citadel had 3 down linemen, and they ran off tackle, and it's no contest.
1st and 10 from the 25.
They're back to the 4 wide outs on first down. There's a Utah pass being set up, and Citadel covered it. Zachary was underneath waiting for the Utah pass, but Dantzler kept the ball because they covered the receiver.
Well, I think, Coach, whenever they want to send Rod Gardner deep, as we look at the replay.
Here it is. You see him running underneath here to get the pass, and he's covered. And so Woody's got enough ability to not only read the play, but to go ahead and run it and make a short gain.
Gardner at 6'3", being guarded by Kevin Gauss at 5'8" for the Citadel. It's one-on-one coverage on the outside. It's just a matter of when he wants to get open, and there he is, Gardner. And it's a first down up to the 45. That's a mismatch on the outside.
Well, it definitely is. It was a low throw, even though you like the ball to be thrown down some, but Gardner made a great catch. Went down with the ball and made a good catch, and again, he covers the ball up well. They tried to pull it away.
Good look at Rod Gardner. A year ago in the opener against Marshall, he set the Clemson record with 11 receptions. That's his second catch of the day.
There's Rambert in for Zachary now.
Is that wraparound handoff? Guard Rambert. Lamar Sales on the stop for the Bulldogs.
It's very obvious that Clemson is very comfortable running their no-huddle offense. They've got this thing down as well as any team I've ever seen run a no-huddle deal. We've got an equipment problem here with
Chester
and he's placed here.
Yeah, his shoe came off, the heel came off, and he was having trouble getting it back on. Hey, in the no-huddle offense, you can't mess around with that.
That's correct.
Will Merritt replaces him. Here's Danzler on the rollout.
There he is. Oh, he had it.
Cuts back.
Not quite the first.
Dell. Boy, Danzler is such a good ad-libber coach. You never know what he's up to.
He had a couple of receivers.
Terry Witherspoon in there at fullback. Showing the I formation. The pitch back to Rambert. And a first down. And again, Witherspoon is just a man when it comes to blocking. He takes out a couple of guys.
Rambert's a great changeup, too. I believe he's a little quicker than Zachary. And he's a good inside runner.
Jodon Reams in the game now. The Tigers in the slot. And there he is, catching the pass from Dan. And he's tripped up. Good tackle by Travis Stevens of the Bulldogs, number 55. It's hard to see those Citadel numbers, those powder blue numbers.
Yeah, they kind of fade in there, don't they? Little flip pass, that's equal to a sweep in the shotgun offense.
Second down and 7. Danzler again, the no huddle. Rat-a-tat-tat. Kevin Howard on the stop. And you see Woodrow breathing a little heavy. Hey, the no huddle takes its toll on the offense as well. I mean, this is fast-paced action.
This is
third down and 3. And a pitch back to Rambert. Breaks a tackle. Gets a first down to the 25-yard line. Strong running by Bernard Rambert. Denny Haywood on the stop. Rambert, the second-year man from Somerville High School. And here comes Witherspoon.
Fullback's back in. And as you see, Doug, look at those 3 down linemen. They know it's coming. They can't do anything about it.
And Rambert following the block of Witherspoon. Gets 9 yards.
That's basically the same play they ran with the tight end in there, but they use Witherspoon as the tight end, kind of like you use an H-back.
And Clemson replacing some of their offensive linemen now are getting winded.
Got 2 tight ends.
Danzler with the audible on second down and 2. Pitch back to Rambert. Boy, Witherspoon just picked up a Citadel defender and threw him down.
Well, that's 2 tight ends and a 260-pound fullback, and running the power sweep off tackle. That looks like pretty easy picking.
Rod Gardner back in now. They'll go wide left. Jodon Reams now in the slot.
Reams has been open on last 2 pass plays, but they didn't get the ball to him.
Rambert continues to be the. Whoa! He takes a head-on collision and goes down.
That was a great tackle. I wish I could see his number.
Kevin Howard met him head-on and he goes down. 20 on 20.
That's a fine defensive play.
Still gained 2 yards as Clemson continues to run players in and out. Justin Watts hustles in now.
I believe Dancer's going to look for Reams on this play. No, they run the Utah play, and they got it off up there.
That's Zachary. He stands up and goes down at the 7. Marcus Carter on the stop for the Bulldogs. The relentless offensive pressure of Clemson. Morgan Woodward checks in for the Tigers. His first action of the day.
Got 3 wideouts and a tight end.
And the fake. Danzero keeping himself. Nope. Yes. And he's knocked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Travis Stevens on the tackle. You never know what he's up to. It'll bring up 4th down. And Aaron Hunt comes on to kick the field goal.
Well, I know they want to score a touchdown, but they need this work right here too. Hunt needs to get all the looks he can get, because you can rest assured sometimes during the next 10 games he'll have a chance to win several ball games. Coach Bowden wants timeout on the field. Yep.
We'll come back and check out the field goal attempt right after this. Clemson on top 21-0. 8:59 to play in the second quarter. So here we go, the field goal attempt. Jeff Scott, Brad Scott's son, assistant coach at Clemson, is the holder. And Aaron Hunt, his first field goal attempt in a Clemson uniform. 21 yards, and it's good.
Yeah. It's a nice snap by Walker and a good hold by Scott, and the freshman puts it through. He's got 7 points, leading freshman scorer in the ACC.
There you go. And you know, the Tigers are also playing a lot of young offensive linemen, coach. They're working them into the lineup now, trying to develop a little depth.
Yeah, that's one of the things Coach Bowden wanted to do, is to try to get some backup help in all positions. And it's good that you can play a lot of these people and get in the game and get the early season jitters out and get a little maturity, so when they get down the line next week against Missouri, they'll be a little stronger.
8:52 to play, second quarter. Jamie Silmani comes on to kick off again. He's been very busy for the Tigers.
The old Jamie's had kind of an erratic day now. We got to get him settled down, relax, and just kick through the ball. He might be bench pressing too much, Doug. I'm worried about that.
He's pressing, that's for sure. Jay Ingram is deep for the Bulldog. You saw him there, number 1, and there's big Jamie. Anybody who can bench press that much, 430 pounds, is
ought to be able to kick a little old football a long way.
I'm telling you.
Well, let's see if he gets it up in the air a little bit and what kind of coverage we can get out of this.
And he caught that one a little heavy too. A short kick down to the 15, fielded by Kenyon Doyle. Wiggles his way up to the 23-yard line.
Yeah, hit the ball a little bit low. When you see him spin real fast, that means they hit the ball too low.
And the Bulldogs come out again, led by Joe Call. You know, this is the kind of game where if you're a defensive player, you can really get some big plays, and you sense that Clemson, the defenders are really almost overplaying everything, trying to get a tackle for a loss, a sack, an interception, whatever the case might be. They're really licking their chops.
Well, Mance and Ardley both been doing a real good job in the secondary covering man to man.
And there's the handoff to Maurice Murphy over the right side.
A little counter trap play, which should be kind of things they're trying to cut out on the pursuit. They'll come back off that same play and run the option back this way.
Corey White is down on the ground for the Bulldogs. Left guard, second-year man, 250 pounds. Again, a smallish offensive lineman.
The Kansas City Soccer team will kick off their season tomorrow afternoon when they host the University of Hartford at 2:30.
We're looking at his knee.
The 6th-ranked Clemson women's soccer team.
Yeah, they probably.
At 5 o'clock at Rinks Field.
Looked like they're checking his ankle, Doug, which is that's a good sign.
Well, Coach, let's take a break as they help Corey White off the field. Again, the score 24-0. So far, so good for the Tigers. Back, 2nd down and 7. Stan Hollingsworth in motion. And the pitch back to Kenyon Doyle.
Oh, boy.
Oh, he's met and goes down. Chad Carson.
Chad Carson had a great game. I tell you what, Carson's playing so good, he's not getting out of a chance to make any tackles.
That's right.
He's really going to football.
You see that pursuit. Look how quick that Clemson defense is. Count the orange jerseys around the football.
Right. Citadel's had a lot of these. Option teams don't like 3rd and long. That's an illegal substitution for Citadel. I don't know whether they're going to call it or not, but he ran off the field too late, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Yeah. That's the new substitution rule. You after the ball's ready for play, and you can't have that many people in the huddle. Illegal substitution.
Yep.
They get about a 3rd and 13.
Well, Tommy Bowden dressed out 100 players today.
Illegal substitution. Offense broke a huddle with 12
Yeah, I think
men.
they gave out a number,
5
Doug.
yards,
They got a few
repeat the
duplicate
down,
numbers,
down.
so we'll have fun here in the 4th quarter, it looks like.
It appears that all 100 might play this afternoon.
There's John Powers, the Citadel coach, who's a good veteran coach. Got a great background in this area with a lot of fine coaches associated with Art Baker and Fisher DeBerry out at the Air Force Academy, who also runs a pretty good option himself.
Third down and 13. Call with a play action fake, which fools no one. And he goes down. Keith Adams.
One of the minuses of option offense is that it's built on play action passes, and when it's 3rd and a mile, play action is not going to fool anyone. Another punting situation, and we've got who's that back again? Reams back.
Jodan Reams. Keith Adams' first sack of the season. He had 16 a year ago, and Reams takes the bounce.
He gets outside, oh boy.
And loses yards, but it'll still be good field position at 49.
I tell you, Citadel's a little slow getting the punt off. A little pressure there would, if need be. Of course, they don't need to. It looks like they could block a punt. Early season, I noticed a lot of the games early, people are getting a lot of punts blocked. Southern Cal kind of started that off Penn State game. Danzler still at quarterback.
Kevin Youngblood in there, a wide receiver. Like Rod Gardner, a tall receiver. And he looked good in that spring game, Coach.
Yes, he did.
And the double reverse. Ooh, knocked down Jackie Robinson. Takes a good lick by Brian Smith.
Number 82, Jackie Robinson.
Just like you drew it up in the backyard, huh?
I think maybe at this point that Clemson may be showing a lot of formations and some things that they want some people to look at down the road, so they'll have to work on them during the week.
You saw Woody's numbers, pretty impressive, 8 for 8.
There he is. Oh,
That
boy.
ball was tipped.
Linebacker tipped it.
Flagged down at the 50-yard line. Thrown in after he released that pass.
Might have been holding.
Yep, that's a holding call.
Broken up by number 47, Brian Smith.
There'll be a spot foul from the 50 there.
We have a chop block on the offense.
That's a chop
15
block.
yards.
15-yard penalty, chop block. So that's a big one.
We'll see if we can see it.
A chop block, there it is right here. A chop block is, and that was a good call. It's defined when an offensive player is engaged, the defensive player blocking, and the second offensive player comes in and blocks below the knees, you call that a chop block. And it's put in the book, of course, to cut down on a lot of serious knee injuries that we have in football. And that was an excellent call by the officials, and not something I don't think the Clemson guy did intentionally, but it's one of those deals that needed to be called.
Bernard Rambert lines up almost on the Citadel sidelines. He's at the top of your screen. Here comes the blitz. They pick it up. Danzler still perfect. 9 for 9. The completed pass to Rod Gardner. Jay Ingram brings him down. And Will Merritt is down back at the 32-yard line.
Well, that was a fine catch by Gardner. I know Coach Stockdale was proud to see those receivers run that good route and catch the ball in his hands, look it in, and put it away. And Rick Stockdale does just a super job coaching the receivers. And that's Barrett.
Merritt's the junior from Easley, South Carolina. And the Tigers can ill afford an injury to one of their offensive linemen, already thin at that position.
I can't tell if they're looking at his knee or his ankle. Right on the left-hand side of the screen here, it looks like he got his right knee, right leg under. He fell back on his right leg. Maybe a little knee strain.
Yeah, we'll check on that, Coach. Will's had a tough time with injuries, broken collarbone a year ago, but right now it's all Clemson on top. 24-0. Tommy Bowden Show Mondays at 3 and 11 p.m. on College Sports Southeast. For more information on how to get College Sports Southeast, log on to collegesportscentral.com. It's 3rd down and 13. Danzler goes deep to Gardner and overshoots him. Jay Ingram on the coverage, but he had been beaten by Gardner.
Yeah, Justin Watts was open on the inside too, and but he didn't have time to pick out the second receiver. Will Merritt had a little injury to his knee, and all his offensive line buddies went over and pat him on the shoulder. That's a close group.
Jamie Somani on to punt.
Great kick.
And he booms it into the end zone.
What a great kick. 54-yarder out of the end zone. I tell you, that was great to see there, Doug. One of the things I was worried about coming into the season was the punting situation, and I noticed during the pregame warm-up, he kicked the ball extremely well. And, of course, he hit that one right there, 54 yards from the line of scrimmage. Take 20 off, still counts on his average. But
right.
That's good news to see him kick that way.
And Joe Call still running at quarterback for the Citadel, who's had a tough time moving the football against this quick Clemson defense. Keith Adams on the stop. Maurice Murphy's been busy, but he hasn't gained much yardage.
Yeah, they left the ball with a full back there, and Citadel needs to try to just play like the game's 0-0 and run their base offense and try to use a little clock.
Clemson is clobbering the Citadel in total yardage, as you saw there. Flags down everywhere. False start against the Bulldogs. You know, the Bulldogs back in 1992 were ranked #1 in Division I AA. They were undefeated during the regular season. They eventually lost in the playoffs. But that was really the high point. That was perhaps the best team they've ever had.
Well, they've always been very competitive in the Southern League, Southern Conference, and had some well-disciplined teams. And this ball club here is just a little bit outmanned size-wise and speed-wise.
2nd down and 11. All on the keeper. Tripped up by Terry Bryant. I tell you, Bryant, the senior from Savannah, has really impressed me today. Of course, he's working against a very small guard and tackle on that left side, but man, he is just too quick for him.
Well, Bryant, Neeson, and McNeil, all three are excellent defensive ends, and they have had their hands on a lot of ball carriers today. And the way this offense runs, if they're positioned, it's a key spot to stop this offense.
They're trying to block Bryant with Jason Barley, a 240-pound tight end. Big mismatch. And here he comes, barreling down on Joe Call, who's forced to throw it up, and that's intercepted.
Great interception.
Charles Hafley.
I tell you, Mance, Ardley, and Hafley, all three have been playing man-to-man on the wide receivers and doing an excellent job. And that's a case there of a lot of drills that Jack Hines, the defensive back coaches, I saw him the other day at practice running that same drill where you throw the ball when their back's to you and they turn around and find the football. And that shows you what a drill will do in practice. It'll pay off in the game.
Matt Bailey wide left, Rod Gardner at the bottom of your screen as you look at the interception one more time by Hafley. Woodrow Dantzler on the quick pitch out to Zachary, who's back in there. Avoids one tackler, and a flag comes in late. Picked up 7 yards. And that little pass play. It's almost like a lateral, though. It happens so quickly, and that's against the Tigers.
Let's see what we got here. Looks like a spot foul.
Holding. Offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
That'll be to the 2nd and 5. We're going to go first and about 13, 14.
From the 47. Dantzler's thrown only one incomplete pass today. He's 10 out of 11. And Gardner cuts back.
There's a wide receiver screen. And on the last 2 plays, they're both the same type play where you want other wide receivers match up and block, and you've got a wide screen. Citadel's playing it pretty good.
Well, the Tigers really spread out the defense. Matt Bailey now is very close to the Clemson sidelines.
I tell you, Doug, what you might see is a post route down the middle here on this 2-deep secondary. It's a spot there.
And Gardner catches it up at the 38 before his forward progress is pushed backwards. Kevin Gauss on the stop. Look at Kevin again, a smallish cornerback, 5'8". On the other side, Jay Ingram is 5'7". And they are both in danger of getting beat by the bigger, taller Clemson wide receivers. Dantzler.
There he is.
Short of the first down. Knocked out of bounds by Ingram, who hustles up to knock him out of bounds. It'll bring up 4th down and 2 yards.
Well, here's a replay of it.
And they'll go for it on 4th down.
They'll go for this. It'd be a 53-yard field goal. So they got 2 tight ends and 1 wide out. There's a timeout by the Citadel.
Chad Jasmine checked in at fullback.
And they give the Citadel opportunity to get a different type defense in there.
You know what's impressive, Coach, is all the substitutions that Clemson does. They never have a penalty for a delay of game.
And it's a real tough thing with this. Okay.
And we'll talk about that right after this. As Don Powers talks it over with his Bulldogs. It's 4th down and 3. Remember, production assistance provided by Crane Works. For all your crane needs, call 205-801-6020. Woodrow with a fake. And the pitch. The pass. Looked like a pitch. And it's going to go for a touchdown. Touchdown Clemson on the receiving end, Morgan Woodward.
Yeah, Doug had two tight ends, and they ran a bootleg, and that bootleg became a triple option. There's a fake to the sweep, and he bootlegs out. He's got the tight end in the flat. He's got a receiver deep. He probably had planned to run for that first down, but when the secondary came up, he laid it off to the tight end who carried it in.
Well, that's his first career touchdown, Woodward, and the extra point is good.
Good again. Well, he had a situation there where he probably intended to run the bootleg for the 2 yards in the first down. They came up, he dumped it to tight end. He also had the other tight end crossing deep for a deep receiver. So it's a well-designed play, and one that puts a lot of pressure on the defense in a situation like that. It's kind of like you have your cake and you ate it too. You want to run or pass, you got the option of doing both of them.
Well, here's a young man who was a walk-on for 2 years, and Tommy awarded him a scholarship this season. And you know what? That's his first career catch, first career touchdown.
Well, that's great.
You know he's excited about that.
He's got to be. He covers the ball up the crowd well, runs over a guy, and gets in that end zone. It's a great feeling. And I'll tell you what, I hope his mom and dad are here watching the game.
That's a big play for that young man. Went to South Florence High School, and Florence, backup tight end, really known for blocking more than his pass catching abilities, but hey, that was a pretty good run after that catch.
Man, he'll kid all his teammates now about what great hands he's got.
Well, you saw they all tackled him in the end zone.
Well, I know Brad Scott's proud. I've been kidding Brad Scott about coaching tight ends at Clemson, and and he showed his worth right there, buddy. Tight ends have been a big part of this game going in and out, and that was certainly a fine catch and run after the catch.
Lazera kicks off 31-zip with 1:46 to play.
Now he hit that ball good. That's going to the goal line.
That's his best one.
Had good height. The ball was barely turning over, and they got him inside the 20. That's what you want to do with special teams.
Rodney Thomas.
Doug, one thing I'd like to say here about special teams that I think Coach Bowden does, it's very smart, that most colleges don't do now. His whole staff works with the special teams. Everybody talks about how important the kicking game is, but most people just talk about it. And if you're going to coach your offense with a full staff and your defense with a full staff, I believe you need to coach your special teams with a full staff, which Coach Bowden does. A lot of people assign it to one coach, and to me, that's totally ridiculous.
Brian Manson there at cornerback for Clemson. And again, the handoff right up the pipe to Maurice Murphy as the Citadel looks to run out the clock and hopefully put an end to this assault, first half assault by the Tigers.
I believe that's Freddie James in on that stop. I'm not positive.
Yeah, it was him, Coach,
yeah,
sure.
He's in there giving somebody a breather.
It's second down and 9. Tigers came in ranked 17th in the country.
Well, I tell you, this is this type of offense that you face early in the year. Rodney Allison and Phelan Smith, who both work with defensive linemen. I think Allison works with defensive ends and Smith defensive tackles. They've had their troops ready for this type of offense. They played their technique, and they've gone to the football, and they penetrated. And this is, you got to give them a lot of credit for slowing Citadel down like they have.
Well, the Tigers call timeout to stop the clock. They want to get the ball back. It's third down and 7. You know, you look at Tommy Bowden and you can't help but notice the mannerisms. Not like his father, Bobby Bowden.
He wants to know what's going on out there, you know. I don't know where they call timeout or it's some type of. Yes. Clemson's called timeout.
Yeah. They want to get that ball back. They're not happy with 31 points. And remember, for ticket information and up-to-date information on Clemson athletics, log on to ClemsonTiger.com. It's terrific. I logged on last week, got all the information about the Citadel Bulldogs and what was going on with the Clemson Tigers at practice as they were preparing for their season opener. Don Powers and his Bulldogs really have no answer for this bigger, faster, and more experienced Clemson football team. A team really with high expectations. We've talked a lot about it, Coach.
Right.
And there's a lot of anticipation surrounding this ball club of Tommy Bowden, his second season at Clemson.
Yeah. One thing, Doug, let me mention about this timeout. A lot of people say, well, we got a 31-point lead. You know, using time is so important. You got to teach your team early in the year what to do. If the score is 0-0, it's very critical to call a timeout in this situation. Try to block a kick, try to get a bad kick, try to get a return, get something before the half. And so it's a learning situation with all these players, and that's what Coach Bowden is doing.
3rd down and 7. We'll see what the Flexbone has in store now. He better hurry. Incomplete pass.
And see, they throw a pass incomplete. That stops the clock. And the team can learn a valuable lesson here of how to utilize time, how to conserve time. Use a timeout that you saved during the course of the game. You haven't wasted any. And then the opposition has to throw the ball. They stop the clock. And the team can understand, hey, we can score before the half here. And this may happen several times in the coming season.
Zobel on to punt for the Citadel. Travis Zachary standing at his 44-yard line. Bad snap.
Yep.
Oh, he runs for the first down, and he gets nailed short of the first down. Altre Bodrick right there. You see number 42.
And the situation pays off. And as I say, I don't think it's a case of trying to run up score. I think it's a case of trying to teach football to a team that early in the year of utilizing time and getting a score, getting momentum right for the half, learn how to do that for the rest of the year.
And new quarterback Willie Simmons in there for the Tigers.
That kind of buzzes the crowd up a little bit.
Freshman from Quincy, Florida. We saw him in the spring. He had a bad ankle.
Citadel's got 12 guys out there. I figured they might have figured this thing out here, Doug. Yeah, you can have an 8-man line and the 3 deep and play 2 corners if you got 12 guys. That's pretty good defense.
Yeah. 35 seconds to go. Willie Simmons, his first action. Matt Shell is the 3rd-string quarterback, who we liked in the spring. We'll probably see Matt later in the game.
Matt Shell is I wouldn't be afraid at all for him to play. He's a real class guy.
There he is, number 15.
Right.
And don't forget, Coach, for tickets, remember 1-800-CLEMSON. Tickets to all Clemson Tigers athletic events. We're not talking just football, but basketball. Hey, practice in basketball starts middle of October. That's just a few weeks away. In fact, Larry Chiat's team's already going through conditioning drills right now, the men's basketball team, the women's basketball team as well.
Well, they've got a nice crowd here today, about 75,000 Clemson faithful, and they've had a lot to cheer about. Let's see what Simmons does here.
Simmons rolls left, looks into the end zone. That had to be a perfect pass. Justin Watts, the intended receiver.
If the ball stays where it is right now, you're looking at a 44-yard field goal, and that would be a pretty good little challenge for your young kicker, inexperienced kicker, to get him a little more confidence.
Bernard Rambert lines up next to Willie Simmons. Simmons in and out of the hands of Justin Watts.
Watts gets him. He lets the sideline affect him a little bit. Gets the ball and get out of bounds.
Marcus Carter on the coverage, flag down at the 25.
Not a penalty.
Let's go look at Justin, senior from Florence.
Got a block in the back now. This may take you out of field goal territory. Be a 10-yard spot foul. And they should take the penalty because the time's about to elapse.
Tommy is giving Willie Simmons an earful.
He better get back to coaching box, though.
Above the waist, on the offense, 10 yards, still second down.
All right, still second down, blocking the back. You see Willie Simmons.
Yeah, that took him back 34. That's a 51-yard field goal from there. Well, the guy's going to step it off again now. No telling where it'll be.
You saw Rick Stockstill, the quarterback's coach there. He's wearing the purple golf shirt. A little easier to see that quarterback's coach when he has a different colored shirt on.
That's great. Correct. Rick's shuffling the information out there and handling the substitution. Rick was a fine quarterback himself at Florida State.
Sure was.
When I was down that way, he was our quarterback my first year down there. And turned out to be an excellent football coach. That's Rick right there as you look at him.
Yeah, he was a better quarterback and a better coach than he is golfer.
Yeah,
that's for sure, huh?
Yeah, I don't want him on my golf team.
We played in a Clemson Tigers golf tournament, and I'm telling you,
Yeah, but
Rick was having a good time, let's put it that way.
well, the best way to describe him, he's the opposite of Tiger Woods.
Yeah, the extreme opposite, you're right.
Ball respotted at the 38-yard line.
All right, so the ball's been respotted at the 37-yard line. It's second down and a bunch, make it second down and 20.
Yeah, they're still not sure, but anyhow, let's play ball.
So Willie Simmons needs to pick up a few to see if the Tigers can attempt a long field goal.
He's in an empty backfield now. Got all his receivers out. Throwing in that
Oh.
overthrew.
Wide open was Jackie Robinson, and Rob Nichols should have had that interception.
Well, I tell you, I'd like to see him run a draw play here and gain about 10 or 15 yards, and then have little man come in and kick a field goal. Let's get something good going late in the year. Get some confidence built up.
Well, the adrenaline is pumping for this young man. He's fired up, and he was just too high on that pass. Third down now. 18 seconds on the clock. And the shuttle pass.
That's an incomplete
That's
pass.
an incomplete pass.
Not
It
a
goes-
fumble.
Right?
Umpire threw his deal, but that's just an incomplete pass.
That's really the great thing about that play, huh?
That's right. There's
You know?
nothing risky about it. If you drop it, it's incomplete. So they fourth down, they're too far back for a field goal, and they'll run another little play.
And Brian Outlaw in there at center for Clemson. The backup center getting some PT right now.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. He's done it. That's real good.
And Gary Bird in there at tackle. Big number 79. He
Yep.
just overshoots him
Yep.
again.
Well, that's good. That's why he needs to play something now. He's rushing his throws a little bit. When they throw high, just throwing a little too quick, not setting his feet. But that's good. Yeah, with the injury earlier to the offensive lineman, need to get all these guys to play as much as they can. That was Will Merritt was injured earlier. Hopefully not serious, but it's a chance that Coach Ron West can get a look at some of these other people. He's done a real good job shuffling in and out of there.
Well, hopefully this will be the last play of the half. You can see the Citadel. Oh, they're going to try a pass. This could be dangerous. And it's intercepted. Nope, it bounced on the ground. Crutchfield was right there.
Well, let's see.
Darrell trying for his first pick. Didn't have one last season.
He thought he's pretty emphatic that he caught this ball, and you know that's important to a young man. It's not. Yeah, I believe he caught it. Had his hands underneath the ball there, and that's important, that guy, to have that interception. That official wasn't in too good a position there to call it. He was behind him.
Well, they're watching our broadcast, our telecast up on the big screen, and the crowd kind of reacted that time. I think they agreed with you, Coach. They thought it was an interception. And they're showing blitz, and here they come. The quick throw by call ends the half.
All right.
Nice grab. And a nice first half for the Clemson Tigers. They are running and gunning. 31-0 the score. Back with more in just a few. You're watching Clemson Tigers football on College Sports Southeast.